Most people think of the human body as a fragile machine. We trip on a curb and twist an ankle. We catch a cold and spend a week in bed. We are told that we have limits, that blood loss is final, and that the heart can only take so much. But history has a funny way of producing outliers. Men who seem to have replaced their blood with pure spite and their bones with tempered steel. Today, we are looking at 7 warriors who didn't just survive. They defied every known law of biology, medicine, and common sense. These are the men who were scientifically scheduled to die, yet they simply refused to clock out. By the end of this, you will realize that some people are just too stubborn for the Grim Reaper to handle. And wait until we get to the Finnish soldier who accidentally took a month's worth of military-grade stimulants all at once and turned into a human bullet. Imagine being mauled by a grizzly bear.
Not just a swipe, but a full-body reconstruction by teeth and claws. In 1823, a mountain man named Hugh Glass was scouting for a fur trading expedition when he stumbled upon a mother grizzly and her cubs. She didn't just attack him, she shredded him. His throat was ripped open, his ribs were exposed, and his leg was snapped like a dry twig. His companions, thinking he was a walking corpse and fearing an Indian attack, took his rifle and equipment and left him in a shallow grave to die. Well, most people would have taken the hint, but Hugh Glass woke up. Alone, unarmed, and literally rotten, he began to crawl. He did not crawl for a few yards. He crawled for 200 miles.
To keep the gangrene from killing him, he laid his open wounds over a rotten log and let maggots eat the dead flesh. He survived on wild berries and the occasional scraps of meat he could scavenge from wolf kills. When he finally reached a settlement weeks later, the men who abandoned him thought they were seeing a ghost. Hugh Glass did not die because his desire for revenge was stronger than his physical trauma. His survival is a biological anomaly that doctors still cite as a testament to the sheer power of human willpower over physical destruction. Now, if you think one bear attack is bad, meet Sir Adrian Carton de Wiart. This man makes action movie heroes look like toddlers. Over the course of the Boer War, World War I, and World War II, he was shot in the face, head, stomach, ankle, leg, hip, and ear. He survived 2 separate plane crashes, tunneled out of a high-security prisoner of war camp, and when a doctor refused to amputate his shattered, infected fingers, he simply bit them off and went back to work. He famously wrote in his memoirs, "Frankly, I enjoyed the war. Biologically speaking, his body should have been a sieve." Every time a bullet tore through him, he just seemed to get more annoyed. He lost an eye and an entire arm, yet he kept returning to the front lines. The sheer volume of trauma his nervous system endured should have triggered a fatal shock response a dozen times over, yet he lived to the age of 83. It is almost as if death eventually just gave up and decided to wait for him to get bored. But sometimes, it is not about how many times you get hit. It is about how many people you can stop while you are bleeding out. In May 1945, a Gurkha named Lachhiman Gurung was manning a trench when 200 Japanese soldiers attacked his position. They started throwing grenades into his trench. Gurung picked them up and threw them back. 1, 2, but the third one exploded in his right hand before he could release it. It blew his fingers off, shattered his arm into splinters, and sprayed shrapnel into his face and body. His comrades were incapacitated. Most men would be in deep shock, screaming for a medic or slipping into unconsciousness. Not Gurung. For the next 4 hours, he used his left hand to bolt, aim, and fire his rifle, screaming, "Come and fight a Gurkha!" He killed 31 soldiers single-handedly while his right arm hung uselessly by his side. When reinforcements found him the next morning, he was still there, blood-soaked and defiant, waiting for the next wave.
Scientists still struggle to explain how someone can maintain that level of cognitive focus and physical precision while suffering from catastrophic blood loss and traumatic amputation. It defies the very nature of the fight-or-flight response.
Speaking of defiance, let us talk about the White Death. Simo Häyhä was a Finnish sniper with over 500 confirmed kills during the Winter War. The Soviets were so terrified of him they sent entire battalions and heavy artillery just to kill one man. Eventually, they got lucky. An explosive bullet hit Simo directly in the face. It tore off half his jaw and left his head looking like it had been through a blender. He was found by his comrades with his head literally hanging together, unconscious but alive. He spent a week in a coma while his body fought a battle that medicine said he should lose. On the day peace was declared between Finland and the Soviet Union, he woke up. He didn't just survive, he lived another 62 years and became a successful moose hunter. An explosive bullet to the face is designed to be a definitive end, yet Simo's body somehow held on to consciousness through the impossible. Then there's the case of Aimo Koivunen, which sounds like a dark comedy script. Aimo was a Finnish soldier on a ski patrol when they were ambushed by Soviet troops. Exhausted and freezing, he reached for his supply of Pervitin, which was basically military-grade methamphetamine. In the chaos and the dark, he couldn't get just one pill out of the bottle, so he accidentally swallowed all 30 of them. This was enough to kill several men instantly from a heart attack. Aimo didn't die. He became a human rocket. He spent the next 2 weeks in a drug-induced delirium, skiing through the forest in sub-zero temperatures. He was blown up by a landmine, lay in a ditch for days in the snow, waiting for help that didn't come, and at one point caught and ate a raw Siberian jaybird. By the time he was finally rescued, he had traveled 250 miles. His heart rate was 200 beats per minute, double the normal human maximum, and he weighed less than 100 pounds. According to every medical textbook, his heart should have exploded on day one. Instead, he outran death on a pair of skis. If Aimo was the fastest, Léo Major was the most terrifying. Known as the one-eyed ghost, this Canadian soldier lost an eye to a phosphorus grenade during D-Day. When told he was being sent home, he refused, saying he only needed one eye to aim a rifle and that he looked like a pirate anyway. During the Battle of the Scheldt, he captured 93 German soldiers by himself. But his greatest feat was the liberation of the city of Zwolle. His best friend was killed, and Leo went into a blind rage. He entered the German-occupied city alone, running through the streets, throwing grenades, and firing his submachine gun like an entire army. He tricked the Germans into thinking a massive Canadian force was attacking. By morning, the Germans had fled in terror, and Leo had liberated the city solo. He had also broken his back earlier in the war, but just kept walking. The physical resilience required to keep an injured spine moving under the weight of combat gear is a medical anomaly. Finally, we have Mad Jack Churchill. This man survived the entirety of World War II while carrying a claymore broadsword, a longbow, and bagpipes. He is the only British soldier to have a confirmed kill with a longbow in the modern era. He was captured, escaped from a concentration camp, walked 150 miles to safety, and was later found in Burma ready for more action. He was once knocked unconscious by a mortar shell that killed everyone around him and woke up being interrogated, completely unfazed. His philosophy was simple. Any officer who goes into action without his sword is improperly dressed. He treated the deadliest conflict in human history like a Sunday stroll. The common thread between these 7 men isn't just luck. It is a psychological state that overrides biological limits. When the brain refuses to accept defeat, the body follows suit, pushing past the point of cellular failure and massive trauma. These warriors prove that impossible is often just a suggestion. If you found these stories of human resilience incredible, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We dive deep into the most mind-bending parts of history every week. Which of these warriors do you think was the most indestructible? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and stay legendary.